Hello, everybody. So today I wanted to show you how you could download and put MX Linux on a flash drive so you can make it a bootable flash drive. So that way you can take your Intel Mac, your PowerPC Mac, or maybe an old Windows computer and you can make it into a Linux computer with the newest version of MX Linux. So let's go over to the Windows computer now and I'll show you all the steps you need to take in order to be able to download MX Linux and make a bootable flash drive out of the ISO file so that you can put this onto whatever computer you would like. Okay, so the first step you want to take is you want to make sure your computer is booted up to the desktop and you can see the start bar at the bottom. And now what you want to do is you want to go onto the internet. Now I'm going to use Microsoft Edge because it's right down here on the taskbar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. But you can use any web browser that you would prefer, whether it's Google Chrome, Chromium, Firefox, Edge, Opera, any web browser is going to be fine. And then up here at the top in the search bar, I'm just going to go to duckduckgo.com. And then, of course, I pressed enter. And then right here in the search, I'm going to go ahead and search for MX Linux, and I'm going to press enter. Now, the very first result is for their main webpage. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. It says MX Linux Midway Simple Stable Desktop OS. And then here, all you have to do is click on download. And it's going to give you quite a few options. Now, you can choose whichever one of these you would prefer, okay? If you have a really old computer, you may want to go ahead and stick with the 386 one, because that would be if you only have a 32-bit processor. But these others, this one and this one, are for 64-bit. See the X64 and the X64 here. And then this one right here is for a Raspberry Pi. Now, they do have a couple of others. This is with the XFCE desktop. That's their best looking desktop in their opinion. And then they have the KDE desktop, and they also have the Fluxbox. Again, you can download any of these you want. I'm going to go ahead and choose the XFCE, and I'm going to do it for 64-bit, but I am going to make one little change. I'm going to download the one that has advanced hardware support because it's for very recent hardware. And since I'm going to be putting on a newer computer, I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. Now, if you have a slightly older 64-bit computer, this one may be the better one because it may be better for older computers. So I'm going to choose this one. And it's just going to go ahead and take you to SourceForge. Now, SourceForge is going to go ahead and start downloading the ISO file. If you'll notice in just a moment, it should pop up right here at the top. There it goes. And it's going to download the ISO file. And then once this finishes downloading, which is only going to take it just a few minutes, then we're going to go ahead and download one other program that's going to make life so much easier for you. And that's going to help us to get that ISO file onto the flash drive. So let's give that just a few moments. Okay, so as you can see, the ISO file has finished downloading on my computer. So now we need to go and download another program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here into the address bar, and I'm going to go back to duckduckgo.com and press enter. And then right here, I'm going to search for Rufus, and then a space, and then download. And then I'm going to press enter. Now, the very first result is the one that we're looking for because it does help you to make a bootable USB drive. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down just a little bit. And then right down here, it has the latest releases. So the one that I'm going to pick, you can do any of them. If you have an old 32-bit computer, you want to choose this x86. If you have an ARM processor, maybe you're running on one of the new ARM computers, you would want to run it on this. And then, of course, you have these two, which is, this one's the standard where you would install it and it would stay forever. And this is the portable. Well, I'm just going to use the portable today. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it gives you a little ad. So I'm going to close out of the ad. And then it starts downloading it right there. And it doesn't take very long at all. It's not a very big program. And then you can click on this little folder right here, which opens the downloads folder. But if you don't have that icon, or if you used a different browser, you can just go down here to the bottom and click on File Explorer. And then you can click on Downloads right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run Rufus. But before I do, I'm going to take my flash drive and I'm going to put it into the computer. And I'm going to go ahead and double click on Rufus. And I'm going to click yes to allow Rufus to make changes to my device. And then it says, do you want to allow Rufus to check for application updates online? I'm going to go ahead and click yes. But I know that there's not any updates because we just downloaded it. Now here, it already detected my flash drive. And then I want to put an ISO file on there. So I'm going to leave that just like it is. And I'm going to choose select. And then here it automatically takes me to the downloads folder. But if for some reason it doesn't, that's okay. Just click on downloads over here on the left. Then click on your MX file. And it may be a different version. It may not be 23.4. And it may not be the AHS X64. It may be a X86 or something else. But that's the one you want to choose, is the MX file you just downloaded. And you can tell because it'll have the date modified. And it'll be today's date, whatever date you're downloading it. And then go ahead and click open. Now here, I'm not going to change anything about it. All I'm going to do is just go ahead and click start. Now, it does want to tell you that the image you've selected is an ISO hybrid image. And it means that it can be written either in an ISO image mode or a disk image mode. And then Rufus recommends using the ISO image mode so that you'll always have full access to the drive after writing it. However, if you encounter issues during boot, you can always rewrite it using the disk image mode. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the ISO image mode because that's what they recommend. Now, I have done it before and I haven't had any problems with the ISO image mode. But if you happen to have any issues, just go back through and tell it to do the disk image mode instead of the ISO image mode. So I'm going to go ahead and leave ISO image mode selected and click OK. And then it says that it detected that the ISO you've selected contains a UEFI bootloader that has been revoked that will produce a security violation screen when secure boot is enabled on a fully up-to-date UEFI system. If you obtain this ISO from a non-reputable source, you should consider the possibility that it might contain UEFI malware and avoid booting from it. If you obtain it from a trusted source, you should try to locate a more up-to-date version that will not produce this warning. This is okay because once you install it, it's not going to give you that UEFI or secure boot error. So just go ahead and click OK on it. And you can also just disable secure boot if you want to once you're installing it. And then it says this image uses Grub 2.06-13, but the application only includes the installation files for Grub 2.12. As different versions of Grub may not be compatible with one another, and it is not possible to include them all, Rufus will attempt to locate a version of the Grub installation file, core.img, that matches the one from your image. Select yes to connect. That's fine. Go ahead and click yes, because otherwise it's going to use the one that was included. We're just going to try to download the same version if possible. So just click yes. And then the image uses SYS Linux 6.03, but this application only includes the installation files for SYS Linux 6.04 pre-1. And then again, it's wanting to say yes to connect and download these. That's fine. Go ahead and click yes. And then all data, this is the one that most of y'all will get. It says all data on the device will be destroyed. Well, there is nothing on this flash drive I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Now, it will take a little while for all those files to copy over. And one thing that I should mention is with your flash drive, you want to try to get one that's at least a USB 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, or faster, because if you get a USB 2.0 flash drive, it is going to take quite a while for the files to copy. So if you can get a newer flash drive, I would highly recommend it because it will copy so much quicker. And the newer flash drives, as long as the connector is the same, it's not a USB-C, as long as it's still the USB-A connector, it'll still work in an older computer. It'll just slow down to whatever the fastest speed that computer can handle. So just go ahead and get the fastest one that you can. This still got that rectangular connector that's USB-A, and it can be USB 3.0, USB 3.1, USB 3.2. Get the fastest that you can, and that's going to help you to copy these files onto the flash drive quicker, and maybe even install quicker even on that older system, because it can read the files quicker. So I hope that helped. Let's let this finish, and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, it just finished creating the MX Linux flash drive. And if I come over here to the File Explorer, right there you can see there is the flash drive. Now I can't look at it because it's been formatted for Linux, and I don't want to mess with any of the file permissions, so I'm going to hit cancel. But you can see that that MX Live flash drive has been created. And if I were to put it into any of the computers that I have and boot it up, you would be able to see the MX Live boot flash drive. And so you could actually sit there and use MX Linux without having to install it on your computer. But of course, you can also install it on the computer if you would like to. So that is how you would create an MX Linux flash drive with your Windows 11 or Windows 10 computer. So I hope that was helpful on how you can create your own MX Linux bootable flash drive so that you can install it on any computer that you would like to. If you do have any questions about how to do this on your computer, or maybe you want to put it on a specific computer and you're having some issues, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. And if there's a video that you would like for me to create for you, please let me know that down below in the comments as well, and I will do my best to create that video for you. And as always, because you all do such a great job, if you can, hit that like and subscribe button so I can keep putting up more great content like how do I create that MX Linux bootable flash drive installer or live flash drive on my Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer, and I'll be glad to keep putting up all this great content for you all. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate you all. I hope you have a great day. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.